Chapter 67, Dad's Week. Parking is always tricky in front of graders, especially on a Sunday afternoon. The area is called Hyde Park Square, but it's really more like an oval with cool stores nestled together. Darren and I luck out. He eases into a spot across from the Key Bank, just a couple of doors away. As we are getting out of the car, I get a text from Dad. You okay? Almost there? Got your music? I'm leaving now. See you soon. Love you. I text him back that all is well. Skip the fact that we're stopping for ice cream. He'll worry about ice cream on my dress. As I'm slipping the phone back into my pocket, I get a text from Mom, all hyped up. I can't wait to hear you play, sweetie. John Mark's going to record it all so I can take pics. So proud of you, Izzy. Then Darren's phone buzzes, a text from Anastasia. We smirk. He reads it out loud. Leaving now. Is Isabella calm and prepared? Drive safely. See you soon. Love you. He texts her back, and we hurry into the magic that is Grader's ice cream. Grader's has been around for like a million years, and the ice cream is not just fantastic, but famous. Even been mentioned on TV shows and stuff. Apparently, people from as far away as New York order it. The choices are incredible, and new ones are created every month. Blueberry Delight, Vienna Coffee, Bourbon Pecan Chocolate Chip, Boysenberry, Peppermint Stick, all made here in town. Every time I walk in here, I shiver from the anticipation of the deliciousness to come. I can almost inhale the feeling of the place. It's got atmosphere. There's that word again. I swear that man lives inside my head. I check out the other customers. Nobody seems to notice how dressed up we are today. Well, that's cool. Mom and I once actually came here in our PJs late one night. Nobody said anything then either. I look over the new listings. Instead of my usual Oregon strawberry, I switched for 2 dips of Madagascar vanilla bean on a waffle cone. It sounds fancy and exotic. Darren orders double chocolate chip. The teenager behind the counter stuffs the cones extra full. Enjoy, he says with a smile as she hands them to us. Darren steers me by the elbow towards the door. Let's eat these in the car. Mom will kill me if I get you there late. And then my mom will kill you a second time, I say with a laugh as I hold the door open for him. Thank you, your piano-ness, he says with a bow, cracking me up. As we head to the car, I take a giant bite of my ice cream. I love the fire hot cold on my teeth. Then I lick around the edges so it doesn't drip. Darren double clicks his key fob to unlock the car doors. Then, from out of nowhere, a man with stringy reddish blonde hair in a dark brown t-shirt sprints towards us from the other side of the street. His face looks fierce. He bumps directly into Darren, who yells, "Hey, watch where you're going, dude," as his chocolate cone falls to the ground. Oh no, his ice cream. I know he wants to curse, but he doesn't, because of me. The man ignores him, dashes past us, and disappears behind a building. What the heck? Darren asks, rubbing his shoulders. That guy was so rude. I cry out, You okay? You want some of my vanilla bean? Forget about it. I'm cool, Darren says, getting into the car. He gives his head a quick shake, as if to clear it. Let's get you to the Piano Palooza. Who invented that crazy name, anyway? He's trying to get back to our happy place, I can tell. He checks his rearview mirror as I buckle in, then carefully backs out of the parking spot. As he drives slowly down the crowded street, he turns on his latest playlist. He likes jazz. I check the clock on the dashboard. It's only 2:15. We've got plenty of time. I pull the kitchen towel in different directions so it covers my entire dress. I slowly lick the Madagascar vanilla bean yumminess. We'll be there in 15 minutes. Sure you don't want a bite? I ask, holding out my cone. Nah, I'm good. It's chocolate or die for me. Come to think of it, he does always order chocolate when we go places. Good to know. We aren't halfway down the block when I'm vaguely aware of the multicolored flashing lights behind us. Darren notices too, because he says, Something bad must have happened. Look at all these cop cars. Then I hear the sirens. Fire, maybe, I say? I stretch around to look out the back window. I see a sea of red and blue. There have to be there have to be a dozen police cars behind us. People are stopping on the sidewalk to stare. Darren slowly slows down and looks for a place to pull over so they can go by, but there are no parking places. Then I hear something that sounds like the megaphone that the coach uses when we're in gym class. Pull over now. Who's he talking to? I ask Darren. I'm looking around trying to figure out what the problem is. I have no idea, Darren tells me, but he stops anyway, right in the middle of the street. There's no place else to go. A black gloved fist suddenly pounds on Darren's window. Darren jumps in his seat. I scream, "Get out of the car!" An angry voice demands. "Are they talking to me?" Darren asked, his voice quavering. "I said, get out of the car now!" The angry voice is even angrier. He gives the window another wallop. "Is car glass breakable?" I think, crazily. Then another fist pounds on my window in the back. "Open this door and get out. Hands in the air," I hear. Me? My hands are shaking so hard, I can hardly press the unlock button. I look wildly at Darren to see if he thinks I should get out. But as he opens his own door, he's yanked right off of his seat. He nearly falls, but a cop grabs his arm. Darren thrusts his other arm up in the air. What is happening? I don't know what to do. My decision is made for me. The back door is flung open and someone grabs me roughly and pulls me out. Literally pulls me out of the car. What's going on? Hey, my ice cream. The towel falls to the ground and the ice cream cone slides down my dress. My black velvet dress. Chapter 68. Now I'm being pushed toward the front of the car. Don't move, don't even breathe, I'm told. Don't breathe? How do you not breathe? Will the police shoot me because I don't know how to stop breathing? I don't even know why I'm thinking this, but then I'm thinking about Darren. Where's Darren? I look around for him and see instead a female officer approaching me with her gun. It's aimed at me. A gun is aimed at my head, and now I can't breathe. And there's Darren. He's on the ground, on the sidewalk. At least 3 policemen are on top of him. His burgundy blazer barely visible. The policemen, who are not holding him down, have their guns out, aimed at Darren. They are all bellowing different things. Stop resisting, don't move. Darren couldn't possibly move even one finger. They have him pinned down. I think he's handcuffed. Handcuffed. He's answering. His voice is muffled. I didn't do a thing. I didn't do anything, officer. Where were you 10 minutes ago? At Grader's buying ice cream, comes his muffled reply. When did you go into the bank? Bank? What bank? You were seen running from the Key Bank and leaving in a red car. Please let me stand up, Darren says. I can hear tears in his voice. Please, sir. Where's the money? What? I feel like my ears are hearing another language or something, and some lady is still pointing her gun at me. I want to say he just bought me an ice cream, but they told me not to breathe, and that means no talking. And why is she pointing that gun? And I want her to put it down, and Darren is standing again, and he's bleeding. Darren is bleeding, and his arms are pulled behind his back because he actually is in handcuffs, and he's crying. I finally hear something I understand. I have a receipt for the ice cream, Darren says slowly. Look in my jacket pocket. If Darren is allowed to talk, then maybe I can breathe. So I do. An officer approaches him like he's a serial killer or something, and slowly reaches into the pocket of Darren's sports coat, which is now ripped at one shoulder. Burgundy is the color of blood, pops into my head. The policeman pulls out a wrinkled slip of paper. He shakes it in Darren's face. This doesn't prove you didn't rob that bank, the officer yells. Rob a bank? Darren says, gaping. I never even went into the bank. Your car was seen leaving the scene. It was the only parking spot available near the ice cream store, Darren replies. He's suddenly starting to sound angry, even though I know he's trying to stay calm. The woman with the gun still has it aimed at me. Darren notices. That's my little sister. I was taking her to a piano recital. She's 11. Are you nuts? No one answers, but the officer lowers her gun. She does not, however, put it in the holster. We saw a man running, I whisper, my voice so shaky I don't recognize it as my own. What man? The lady officer demands. She raises her gun a little tick. He had on dark-colored shirt. He ran behind the restaurant, I tell them. I can only move my head. I'm too scared to lift my arm to point. I saw him too, Darren says. He bumped into me, made me drop my ice cream. What did he look like? Another officer asks. Reddish blonde hair, skinny, pimply face, brown t-shirt. The policeman takes notes. They talk to one another. They talk into their shoulders where the walkie-talkies are located. One of them jogs back to the bank. Time has stopped. I stand there, needing to scratch my nose. I'm afraid to move. The itch intensifies. They let us stand there. Darren, surrounded by men in blue who speak around him, but not to him. No one says a word to me. We wait and wait. I want my mom. I want my dad. The guns are still in the policeman's hands. Real guns, black and shiny and terrifyingly close. The officer who headed to the bank jogs back. The bank employees say the robber was a thin white man. Another witness says he thought the man got into a red car. Well, I'm not a skinny white man, Darren says slowly, reasonably. I'm as brown as that ice cream he made me drop. You can see it on the ground over there. He nods in the direction we came from, and we simply parked in front of the bank because there were no other spaces, he explains again. My license and registration are in the glove compartment. Another officer saunters over. The bank confirms the robber did not look like this suspect, he says. So why did they do this to us? Why? She's thinking. I'm screaming it in my head. And finally, after what seems like 50 hours, they remove Darren's handcuff. He rubs his wrists. They must really hurt. Then they tell him not to move. He stops rubbing. At least the situation seems to be calming down. People in the crowd are losing interest and walking away. Will they let us go now? Then a thought flashes through my brain. The concert. Oh no, the concert. I'm going to be late. Mom and Dad are going to be so worried that I'll not be there yet. That I'm not there yet. I've got to call them. So I reach in my pocket for my phone. The lady officer yells, "Gun, gun." Every point of light I've ever known explodes at that moment. Honey gold sun, turquoise sky, flaming red pain. I collapse to the ground. The last things I remember hearing are Darren's hoarse scream and a male voice shouting, "Shots fired, send emergency medical crews ASAP."